Okay, we're over here at Griffs Engine and Machine. This is the guy right here. What's your name again?
My name is Brian.
Brian. He's putting this 327 together, and this is a nice looking engine. This has a more modern 350 block with a 4-bolt main crank in it, or 4-bolt main block, and then it's got a 327 crank in it, a large journal steel that's standard. These are the double hump heads. Then they have 202 valves, 160 valves, and I just brought over all the parts for him to finish this motor out. And so we're over here, and then, you know, this is Griffs on the inside. And where's your dyno room at?
It's in the back.
Can we go there?
Yeah.
I want to, because they're going to dyno this motor after we're done. So this is quite an experience over here. And Gary, the owner, he's not here today. Hi, how you doing?
What's going on?
Oh, we're just doing a little video for this motor I'm having done over here. Yeah, and here's their dyno room. This is where they test these motors, and they've been doing it a long time. And what all is the different kind of motors that you do here?
We do everything from stock engines all the way up to 900 horsepower sprint car engines. That's kind of what Gary's specialty is sprint car motors, and he's been doing them a long time. So.
Yeah, and his grandfather started this business here.
His father,
didn't he?
yeah.
Or his father did.
Yeah.
And his father used to race over at Sandusky Speedway?
Yeah, they used to. They ran all over the northern state of Ohio. I mean, they ran Sandusky, Fremont, Attica, and all the old dirt tracks that used to be out, you know, back in the day.
Yeah.
A lot of them are gone now, but
Yep, exactly.
so there's a lot of history here in this building.
Yep, there is. And like one of the sprinters, I used to go. You remember Danny Boyd?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to go to his garage when I was a kid. We first had moved to Clyde. My dad got transferred to the railroad, and we were in Decatur, Illinois, which he was transferred there. But we were transferred. He got a house in Clyde up on Elm and South Main, and then right around the corner was Danny's garage. And I knew Joe Nichols, which was Danny's nephew, and I used to go down there every night and watch him build those sprint cars. And he built sprint cars for like Waylon Jennings, Bobby Clark. Bobby Clark was the main one, but Roy Clark, Waylon Jennings, Tammy Wynette. He built sprint cars for all those people.
Wow.
And then he drove the cars. I used to go with Pappy Boyd. Remember Pappy Boyd?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, he had a 62 Ford station wagon. He would take us over there to the Fremont dirt track. We'd stand on top of the car. He had 2x4s underneath. We'd stand on top of the car and watch a race so we didn't have to pay. So, and I'm sure that because my dad Danny worked on the railroad in his latter years, and he worked for my dad. They would come over here to get motors rebuilt for the railroad.
Yeah.
For railroad trucks and stuff like that. So there's history here for me too.
That's the thing, you know, a lot of engine builders, they just specialize in a certain type of engine, and we pretty much do everything here. I mean, we got to keep the doors open. We do a lot of boat engines, and like I said, we do stock engines. We do a lot of heads for local dealerships and stuff. So we got our hands on a lot of stuff. But like I said, we love the racing engines, and we like getting in and getting the methanol in them and firing them up around here and stinking the place up. But it's fun.
I love that. Yeah. Hopefully, when you guys get ready to dyno my motor, I'm going to come here and do another video with it all.
That'd be fine.
Yeah.
Hopefully by maybe the end of next week we'll have it back here ready to go.
That's fine. So. That's good with me. So anyways, that's the dyno machine right there. The dynomometer, as Nick calls it, on Nick's garage. So anyways, I appreciate it, and I'll be back. Okay, so here we are. We're over at Griffs. That's Gary Griff right there at the controls. And there's Brian. Now this video is about 10, 12 that's okay. So, anyways, here's the 327. They're running it. Start out nice. Now his dynamometer broke. The brake something's wrong with it, so he can't do a horsepower test on it. But he's running it for me and heating it up. They made sure everything, they've already run it. Baby's ready to go in the old 37 Ford Coupe. Running good. Now that's a 327. It's got a 354 volt main block. Got 186, 68 heads on it, 202, 160. It's got 327 Ford steel large journal crane, and it's got a L79.447 cam in it, and they degreed the cam. So this should be a really good one. It's got a VN intake steam boiler on it. I put my water pump on. I'm going to be running header on the car itself. That's a really nice motor. Anyways, thank you, Gary. You did a great job, you and your team. Thank you, Brian, because I know you worked on it, and I appreciate it. So, now we're going to take it apart, load it, and I'm going to take it home. I'm excited. This is the heartbeat of that car. This right here. Huh?
Good enough, you happy?
Yeah, yep. I'm happy. It looks good. Hey everybody. So I got the old 327 is at home. And I wanted to give you an overview about this motor because this thing really runs good. It's got a good cackle to it. They degreed that cam. And it really, they degreed it, I think it was 109 degrees. It's 110 lobe separation, and they degreed it 109. So it's really got a good cackle to it. And Gary Griffith is his real name. I call him Gary Griff. Anyways, he said, you'll hear this motor coming down the street long before you get where you're going. And I believe him because it's nice. Now I'm going to give you an overview of it and tell you about it, you know, give you details on it. Okay, so we start off with an 0010 block. Okay, it's a 4-bolt main block, and it was a standard bore, and they bored it and honed it to 30 over. I had, excuse me, I had a set 8 Speed Pro forged pistons that were 10.35 compression on large journal rods, small block large journal rods. I think they're 5.7. I haven't built a small block since 2000, so it's kind of hard to remember all this stuff. But anyways, so, and they resized the rods. They put ARP rod bolts in it. So then, that's got a 327 forged steel marine crank in it. I don't know if it's out of a 68 or 69 motor, but it's a large journal. And I thought that it was a standard, but actually they didn't like the looks of it at standard. It had a couple scratches in it, so they had it turned 1010, which doesn't hurt that crank a bit. And you know you got true journals in. So then it's got a Melling H77 high volume oil pump in it. It's got all new freeze plugs, cam bearings, the mains and rods are all new. And it's got, the cam is an Elgin Pro Stock .447. Now that's the L79 327 350 horse cam back in 66 and 67. And that's a really good cam. I built a motor back in 2000 I put the whole thing together myself, and it was a L79 327, and I had that same cam. I had a GM cam in it, but you can no longer get them from GM. And I built that motor back in 2000. I'm pretty sure that's the last small block that I did. And I did one big block like in 2005 or 4. I think I put that all together and put that in that blue 69 375 horse Chevelle that's pictured with that 69 red Nova. So anyways, then this has the head improver kit. I bought all these parts from Competition Products up in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. And I've been buying for them for at least 25 years. I've been buying their engine parts, and it's all good stuff. So the timing chain is a 3. There's 3 different adjustments on it. Like I say, they timed the cam 109 degrees. So, and then it has a GM. That's a brand new. When I built my heavy Chevy motor, my 402, I bought 2 of these high-performance GM distributors. I got a buddy that works at a GM dealership at the parts counter. And I call him when I want certain GM parts. He usually can get it for me. So I bought 2 of them. This is the last one that I've got. I got a Holley 600 vacuum secondaries on it, which is pretty close to the carburetor an L79 327 had. It'll run really good with that. And I've got the wheel and valve covers. They took and glass beaded those up. They look really nice. They glass beaded the pistons. Those pistons were brand new, but they take and glass bead them. And they do all that. And then I bought a new dampener too. I got a nice big dampener. Got that from Competition Products. And I bought ARP bolts. I bought the main bearing cap 4-bolt bolts. I bought the head bolts. And like I say, the rod bolts. And I bought a kit for all the engine. The intakes, valve covers, and headers, and water pump, and water neck, all that stuff. And it really makes an engine nice when you buy those bolt kits. They're a little bit expensive, but man, those ARP bolts, they're stout. You're not gonna break a rod bolt or break a main bearing cap bolt with ARP. You just aren't going to do it because their strength levels are way above what it would take to break a regular GM bolt. So, but anyways, I wanted to give you a lowdown on it. This has 186 heads. I think they're either late 68 or 69 heads. I'm not sure. But they have the Competition Products, they have what they call a head improver kit. You get full set of, and they're 202 160s. And they also put the hardened exhaust seats in them. And this has that head improver kit, which you get the 202 160 stainless valves. You get up to 600 lift springs. You get the keepers, retainers. Then they put valve guides in these heads also. They got bronze valve guides in it. Then I bought a new set of push rods for it. And the lifter or the rocker arms are new. All that come from Competition Products. All good stuff too. I think those are comp cams, rockers, and push rods. And the springs and all that. The springs came with the head improver kit, and then the push rods and the rockers are competition or comp cams, which are real good parts too. I mean, you just can't go wrong. Now I'm going to have to put my own water pump on it. I got to get a swivel top neck for the intake, because I'm going to run a 37 Ford radiator that comes off to the side, but it's high, so I got to get me a swivel water neck that angles up, and they make them. I've already seen where to get one, and I'm very pleased with this motor. They flat out, they didn't overcharge me for it. Now, you know, it's not cheap to do a motor, but they gave me really good prices, because I bought the block, the crank, and the heads from them, and then I bought all the parts to put it together, except for some things they bought, you know, like the soft plugs, the bearings, and some other stuff. but very reasonable. Now, this is the first motor I've actually had Griffs build for me, but I've known about them since back in the 70s. But Fremont Parts is where I always had my motors built because it was so much closer. But they closed down, so now Griff's Engine, it's called Griff's Engine now. It was Griff's Engine and Machine, or Machine and Engine, but now it's just Griff's Engine. And they're my new engine guy, because they'll be my engine guy. DeWitt will be my rear end guy. Dan will be my transmission guy. And, you know, with that, and then Jay over there, the guy that painted my yellow 69 Chevelle, he's my paint guy. Him and Woody at Ott's Body Shop. So I got it set up for the professionals, you know. Now, a lot of this work I could do myself, but, you know, you're smart when you pay someone else to do it, and if something goes wrong right away, they got to fix it. You know, that's the one reason why I have it done. I can do this work, but I can't do it as good as them because they do it every day. And they do really good work. I'm going to tell you what, this motor just flat out runs. They balanced the crank, the rods, the dampener, and the flywheel and clutch all together. So it's all brought to zero. So, I mean, there's no issues there. And it's going to be a really super nice engine. And I had it painted black for two reasons. Number one, I've never had a black motor. And number two, it'll look good in that coupe because that coupe is burgundy with black fenders. So this motor with the aluminum that's on it, because it's going to have a Wien aluminum water pump, it's going to, you know, this motor's going to look good in that car. I'm really satisfied with it. And it'll fit right in. This distributor right here will have a 1/4 inch in between the back of the distributor right here and the firewall that comes, you know, it'll have a 1/4 inch. So that means I can turn that thing, you know. So I'm excited about this motor because I heard it run. You've heard it run on this video, and I mean, Gary Griff's dad started that place back in the 40s or the 50s. And I mean, they've been building engines for over 50 years. What? So anyways, Gary's dad, I don't know how long he built engines from the start. So I know Gary's been doing it for 50 years anyways, because he's not young. So anyways, please subscribe. I appreciate you watching, and I'm doing brakes on the coupe right now, so I got all the rear done, the shoes are on, the wheel cylinders, the lines, the rubber hose up to the master cylinder, the proportioning valve. So now I just got to do the front lines and the rubber hoses and bleed it, and then the brakes will be done. So thanks for watching, I appreciate it, and have a good one.